A decision-making framework that removes regret. Not a framework that guarantees perfect outcomes. Those do not exist. A framework that ensures the regret from any outcome is minimized because the process was sound. Two primary frameworks and several supporting tools for making better decisions with the information available. Most decision difficulty is not caused by lack of information. You have enough information. The difficulty is the wrong time horizon, emotional closeness to the outcome, and using the wrong question. Analysis compounds these problems. More analysis at the wrong time horizon with the wrong question produces more confusion, not more clarity. The Regret Minimization Framework. Developed by Jeff Bezos and used in his decision to leave a senior Wall Street role to start Amazon in 1994. The question, imagine yourself at age 80, looking back. Will you regret not having tried this? The time horizon shift changes everything. At 80, the fear of failure that dominates the present decision weighs almost nothing. What weighs heavily is inaction on things that mattered. When to apply the Regret Minimization Framework, decisions that are large and hard to reverse, changing career, starting a business, moving country, major life commitments. Decisions where the dominant emotion is fear of failure rather than genuine analytical uncertainty. Decisions with a time limit, an offer that expires, an opportunity that closes. The framework is not efficient enough for routine choices. The RAP method, a four-step framework for decisions where the 80-year question is not the right scale, but analysis alone is not producing clarity. Developed by Chip and Dan Heath in Decisive. RAP stands for Widen Your Options, Reality Test Your Assumptions, Attain Distance Before Deciding, Prepare to be Wrong. Widen your options. The most common decision mistake is treating a choice as binary when it is not. Before committing to option A or B, ask, what other options are there that I am not considering? What would I do if neither option A nor B were available? This question almost always surfaces a third option that is superior to the original two. Reality test your assumptions. The assumptions behind your preferred option are almost certainly optimistic. Run a pre-mortem. Imagine your preferred option failed. What went wrong? This forces the generation of failure scenarios before commitment rather than after. Also useful. Find someone who made a similar choice and ask what they wish they had known beforehand. Attain distance before deciding. The emotional intensity of a decision at the moment of making it is at its highest. Distance reduces intensity and improves judgment. The most useful form of distance, the outside view. Instead of asking, what should I do? Ask, what would I tell a close friend to do in this exact situation? The outside view removes personal emotional stakes and produces clearer advice. Prepare to be wrong. Before committing, define in advance what would make you change course. If X happens within Y months, I will reconsider. This is called a tripwire. Without it, you will rationalize continuing a bad decision because you made it, the sunk cost effect. The tripwire converts course correction from a failure into an expected outcome of a rational decision process. Reversible versus irreversible. The most useful filter before applying any framework. A reversible decision can be undone within a defined time frame at limited cost, taking a freelance project, trying a new tool, declining a social commitment. An irreversible decision cannot. Leaving a stable career, ending a long relationship, major financial commitments. The correct strategy, move fast on reversible decisions and slow down on irreversible ones. The October 10th, 10 Rule, a framework for mid-scale decisions where the 80-year horizon is too long, but the immediate frame is too short. Ask 3 questions. How will I feel about this decision in 10 minutes? In 10 months? In 10 years? If your answer is consistent across all 3 time frames, it is the right choice. Divergence, wanting it in 10 minutes, regretting it in 10 months, is a signal to slow down. Second-order thinking. Ask not just what happens if you do this, but what happens as a result of what happens. First order, I will take the job for the higher pay. Second order, more pay means less time to build the skill I need for where I actually want to be in 5 years. Most regretted decisions look fine at first order and wrong at second order. Decision journals, the practice that builds decision-making skill over time. When you make a significant decision, write down the decision, the reasons, what you expect to happen, and how confident you are. Review past entries 6 to 12 months later. Most people find that their confidence was miscalibrated, their reasons were incomplete, and the outcome was different from what they expected in predictable ways. The journal converts experience into learning. Cognitive biases that affect decisions. Confirmation bias, seeking information that confirms the preferred option. Availability bias, overweighting recent or memorable outcomes. Sunk cost effect, continuing a bad decision because of prior investment. Recency bias, treating recent events as permanent. You cannot eliminate these biases by knowing about them, but you can design the decision process to reduce their effect by actively seeking disconfirming information and using structured frameworks rather than intuition alone. Analysis paralysis, what it is and why frameworks solve it. Analysis paralysis occurs when additional information produces diminishing returns, but the decision-maker continues to seek information rather than decide. The fix is not more analysis. It is recognizing that the uncertainty that remains is irreducible, and that deciding under irreducible uncertainty is the task. A framework gives you a defined process endpoint. When you have applied the framework, you have enough to decide when to trust your gut. Intuition is pattern recognition built from accumulated experience in a specific domain. In domains where you have extensive relevant experience, intuition is a reliable shortcut. An experienced nurse reading patient symptoms, an experienced investor reading a pitch. In domains where you have limited relevant experience, intuition is unreliable. The question is not, should I trust my gut? It is, do I have relevant experience that makes gut signals here meaningful? Building decision rules, the practice of deciding once and applying the decision automatically to recurring situations. If you face the same type of choice repeatedly, which projects to take on, which requests to decline, when to speak up in meetings, deliberate carefully once, write a clear rule, and apply it automatically. This eliminates repeated deliberation on questions you have already solved and produces more consistent outcomes across similar decisions. Career decisions specifically, the decisions with the longest time horizons and the highest stakes. For principals, the career with the higher ceiling and the harder skills is usually better in the long run than the career with the higher floor and easier skills. The position that offers the most learning beats the position that offers the most stability when you are under 35. The company where you are surrounded by the best people in your field compounds faster than the company where you are the best person in the room. And the regret minimization framework is most powerful here. At 80, inaction on meaningful career risk weighs heavily. The pre-mortem, a structured way to surface risks before commitment. Used before a major decision, it asks, imagine it is 6 months from now and this decision has failed completely. What went wrong? Running this with a group of people who know the situation, or alone, generates failure scenarios that are invisible before commitment. The pre-mortem identifies specific, actionable risks that can be mitigated before the decision is made. The framework that removes regret. Know which time horizon fits the decision. 80-year, October 10th, 10, or immediate. Apply RMF for large, irreversible decisions driven by fear. Apply RAP for any decision where analysis has stopped producing clarity. Use the reversibility filter to set decision speed. Build decision rules for recurring choices. And keep a decision journal so that your future decisions benefit from your past outcomes. The goal is not perfect decisions. It is a sound process with low regret.